Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. I hope wherever you are in the world, if you're in the UK, I hope you're managing to stay cool. I am not. I look like a tomato. I desperately need to get some makeup on my face, and today we are going to be talking about Primark makeup again. Yes, I feel like it's only been 3 weeks since the last time I did a Primark makeup video. I've got more. I've been shopping again, I've got more makeup, so we're going to be getting into that today. If you want to see more from me, you can subscribe down below. I post 3 times a week, on a Monday, Wednesday and a Friday. It's always affordable and it's always cruelty free. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you like Primark makeup reviews, because clearly I do a lot of them here. So I already have my brows on. I didn't pick up any new brow products, but starting with the Charlotte Tilbury dupe. A lot of these products are Charlotte Tilbury dupes, okay? So this is the PS Pro Luminous Filter Primer Foundation Hybrid. This was the lightest shade. This was the shade 1, and I am concerned. I mean, I purposefully wore a high neck top. So if it's not the right colour, you can't really tell. I do have a foundation. We're going to get into that as well, but let's just see what sort of coverage we get with this. It says infused with hyaluronic acid, niacinamide and vitamin C. Can't remember how much I paid for it because I got a receipt. Did I keep it? Yeah, it's somewhere. Couldn't tell you where. So the wand is slightly different. The actual like doe foot is smaller. I don't actually feel like that colour looks too bad from the camera, but it is, hopefully it's quite sheer, because that is quite a bit darker, quite a bit more orange. I would say this is actually more liquidy than, I mean obviously I haven't tried the Charlotte Tilbury one, but it's more liquidy than the e.l.f. one. So that's like 3 swipes. Let's take my usual brush. Okay, so it is quite sheer, but also I'm gonna have to put that on my ears and bring that right down my neck, because even the lightest shade there is darker than my skin. Okay. They did have a good selection of shades in this. I can't remember what it was, but I remember thinking that they had a good a good range. Like the darkest ones were very, very dark. So hopefully, like, most people would be able to find a colour that would work for them. I like how this looks, but it is a little orangey. I think if you were my sort of skin tone and you like to fake tan, that's not my journey. That is not the kind of person that I am. I am not that gal. But if you were needing something to perhaps just look like your skin, but make your face look like the colour that the rest of your body was, and you had a fake tan on, you would probably quite like this. I like how it looks. I think it looks lovely, genuinely. I think that looks really smooth. Like, obviously glowy. What have I got on my face? Obviously glowy, but it just looks like nothing. Like, you can't see the colour. I feel like that's sunk in really nicely. I'm just not sold on the shade. I wish there was a shade down, but not bad. Not bad at all. So I got this foundation a while ago. This is the PS My Perfect Colour CC Cream, and I got this, it's not going to say what shade it is, probably the lightest one. That is what it looks like. So I have a sponge to blend this out. I just want a light coverage today because, have I mentioned 40 million degrees as I'm filming this? It's like, I don't even know, 8 o'clock at night. I was like, I'm just going to wait for it to cool down a bit. So I've got a couple of pumps of that on there and a damp sponge. this colour looks a little dark for me as well. But probably okay over the top of that Flawless Filter glowy thing. Is this going to be another day where I need my lightest concealer to help balance myself out? Potentially. Okay, I think that has blended out really nicely. It looks fine. It's not the right shade for me. It's not the right colour. I didn't use all that product that I got on the back of my hand there, but like I said, I did just want a light wash of something. So I'll just wipe that off before I get it all over my nice clean top. I will say here, if you are looking for a recommendation for a foundation stick and you've only got £2.50 in your pocket, very specific requirements, but you get my drift. This is the PS My Perfect Colour Moisturising Foundation and Contour Stick. I wear this in the shade Ivory. It is the perfect shade for me. And finally, they had more, so I picked up a backup of that because I love it. Love, love, love it. So I don't have a new concealer. I will just go ahead and use my Collection Lasting Perfection Ultra Cover Concealer. I'll just put a little bit of this around my eyes. I will just put a little bit down the centre of my face just to try and balance out the foundation that is 2 shades too dark for me. Let's see if we can brighten a little bit with that concealer. I have this in 4W Extra Fair Warm. So let's brighten. Let's counteract the foundation that's the wrong shade and hopefully balance things out a little. I will also say, in case you can hear all of that tweeting, I have my windows open because it's hot, okay? I know I haven't mentioned it yet, but windows are open. So let's go in with this because I'm excited about this one. This is the PS Creme Bronzer, C-R-E with a little hat on, M-E, Creme. Creamy buildable bronzer infused with castor seed oil and shea butter. This is in the shade Caramel, so it's just a little stick. Let's see how do, there we go. How do you get it to twist up? How do you get it to twist up? There. I am losing my mind. Okay, so let's take a Real Techniques Expert face brush and I'm going to pick the product up like this because stick bronzers like this often terrify me and until I know how pigmented this is. Ooh, that's a nice colour. Okay. Very pigmented though. That will absolutely do both cheeks. I may just need a little bit more for around the forehead, but that colour, and that's like a little bit glowy, very creamy, like it says it will be, but it really is. I actually think I might have enough there, you know. That's very, very pigmented. Okay, and given that foundation is already a little dark for me, I don't want to go too crazy. But I think that that bronzer, I mean, I've gone a bit crazy on that side, haven't I? I think that that is lovely. That blended so easy. Okay, I'll just put a little bit on the sides of my nose. Just a touch. Yeah, I am a really, really big fan of that. That colour is lovely. They did have one, I think they had one shade lighter online, and then they had this one and a deeper one in store, but they didn't have the lighter one. I probably would have gone for this shade anyway. That's lovely. Really, really lovely. I think that the skin is looking delightful. So, do we use the setting powder or do we use the powder blush? Let's go for powder blush. It's a glowy one. I think this is meant to be a dupe for the Rare Beauty one. This is the PS Sweet Radiant Blusher. This is in the shade Peach. Look at that colour. It's delicious. So, what brush do I want to use? I feel like I should use a clean one. Do I have one? No. Let's just go for the usual Real Techniques blush brush, and let's just do a few little taps. I don't know how pigmented this is. Again, let's see. Okay, so it's softly pigmented, but very glowy. Okay, let's see if we can build the colour up a little bit. I want more blushy colour. I don't mind. I don't mind the glow. I live for a glowy blush. I have 3 drawers of blush in case you haven't seen, and it's like 75 to 80% glowy radiant blushes, so I love a glowy blush, okay? But I feel like I'm missing out on a bit of colour there. Like the colour, the peachy colour isn't showing up as much as I would maybe want it to. And like, I'm not being shy. I am getting quite a bit on the brush. But again, I do quite like a more buildable formula, because then that means I can add more, because that's what I like. But if you like more of a sheer wash of blush, that is also an option. I think that looks lovely. Just personal preferences. I wish it was a little bit more pigmented. Goodness me. People are really, really rude, okay? Where I live, people are so rude. So, that's the blush. Looking blushy, but that did take a little bit of building. So, let's go in with the powder, because this is the PS Sweet 4-in-1 Loose Face Setting Powder Matte Finish, which you would think, Millie, that's not what you want, but cherry fragranced. Cherry fragranced. Is it going to smell like Haribo cherries? Let's see. So, it's got the... I'll try and do this. I have already taken the little seal thing off it. It's got the 4 little compartments with different colours in it. So I've taken out the little puff, which is very cute. Really, really cute little puff that says PS Sweet on it. So I'm just going to put the lid back on, if I can, turn it over, and hopefully there will be a bit of product. Yeah, there's a bit of product there, so let's get that on the teeny tiny little puff. Oh, so cute. Right, and I'll just get what's in the lid. Ooh, it's not too strong of a fragrance. I was a little bit worried about that. It's not too strong. Right, I'm just going to pick up a little bit more out of the pot and then work it into the puff in the lid. The puff is very small, very fiddly. So let me just tap out any creases in that concealer under the eyes, and then let's tap this. Oh, that is very matte. Okay. Okay, so I've just done this half of my face. It is very matte, but very sort of smooth. I was also worried it was going to show up a little bit pink. It hasn't done, which for me, personally as a person, is a preference. I don't know what she's doing. She feels sassy. Yeah, I like it. I like how that looks. It doesn't feel heavy. It does feel very lightly milled. I will just get a little bit more for the other side of my face. Let's do the other side with a brush. The science, you know? So let's take my usual fluffy brush and get a little bit of that, work it into the brush, in the lid. I do generally prefer a brush for any sort of powders, loose or pressed. So let's see how this looks, sort of tapping it in with a brush. Sort of a lighter finish, slightly less matte, but still, like, it is mattifying. Did you see that across my forehead there? It is still mattifying, even when you use a much smaller amount. I think I really like this powder. I think, first impressions, I really like it, and it's not overpoweringly fragranced. And you would know, because I would be sneezing, eyes would be streaming, if it was too fragranced, but I feel like that's a good amount. Like, I can smell it a little bit, but not too much. So I'm just going to use whatever's left on that brush just to really lightly sort of dust over everywhere, just to make sure everywhere is the same amount of set. So I have a liquid highlight, and I have got a story to tell about this. I have seen this liquid highlight in Primark for a couple of months now, and every time I was like, oh, I hope they bring out another shade, because this says gold on it. And then I was looking online and they actually had a swatch of like what the product looks like. It's not gold. It's nowhere near gold. It's like, at most, it's like a champagne colour. Let me show you. So this is the PS Pro Liquid Highlighter with jojoba oil, shea butter and vitamin E. Let me show you what this colour looks like. Would you describe gold? Because I wouldn't. I walked past this so many times because I was like, I don't want a gold highlight. That's not going to work for my skin tone. That will absolutely work for my skin tone. So I'm just going to use the corner of my makeup sponge. Let's get a little bit of that on there and tap this back over the high points. See? Gold. Where? Where is there gold? There's more gold in the luminous filter. I've just dropped the eyeshadow on the floor. Oh, I hope that's not broken. It's not, we're okay. We are okay. Yeah, I really like that highlight. Do not be fooled by that saying gold. I mean, it is sheer, so it could potentially work for all skin tones, but that looks lovely. Really nice and soft glow. Not at all chunky or glittery, and that's going over the top of that powder really nicely. I have been loving liquid highlighters recently, like really enjoying them, and I've been using so many of them over a completely set base like this, just to add that glow back in, and that one looks lovely. So I'm just going to go back in with a little bit more of that blush. I do like to do that with all liquid highlights and powder blush combos, just to add more of that pink back in, just to melt all of the layers back in with one another. Yeah, I'm a really big fan of that whole base combo. Let me zoom you in and show you. Can you see the way that that highlight has just sunk in? And it looks like nothing, but also it just looks really nice and juicy and glowy right on the high point of the cheek. I really like that. So let's go into the eyeshadow. I got this little thing, which is the stacked eyeshadow cream and powder from PS Pro. Firstly, I love the packaging, like that for travel, perfection. Again, this says gold, and I'm like, I don't necessarily agree, because look at the shade on the top. Beautiful bright shimmer, and then the cream I would say is more of like a bronzy, coppery shade. Not necessarily what I would describe as gold. So I will say I did take that blush brush just across the eyes a little bit, but I'm going to take more of a dense brush. I do have a brush actually from Primark that I like to use for creams. It's like a double-ended one, but they don't do this anymore, so I won't use that one because that's annoying, isn't it? So let's take this one, which is a Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. Honestly, do I know if they even make this anymore? No, I don't know. I've had this for millennia. But I just want something that's a little bit dense, a little bit fluffy. It just feels like the right sort of texture for a cream eyeshadow. Let's just get a little bit, and I'll put this all over the lid. We're just doing like a one and done. Very quick, very easy eyeshadow today. Run that under the eyes as well. Yeah, that's pretty. I wonder how this is going to set down. I am going to put that lighter shimmer everywhere, maybe just on the inner corner, maybe everywhere. Let's see how I feel. But that applied really easily, blended out really nicely. It's not too pigmented, but I feel like the right amount of pigmented, like it's showing up. It's not that you can't see it. It looks nice. I really like the colour of that as well, like the undertone of that. It's really nice and warm. Looks really good on blue eyes. I love little cream eyeshadow pots like this in this sort of shade for blue eyes. I just think you can't beat it. But also, like brown eyes, it will make them look lovely and warm as well. I think they had a few different shades. Honestly, I got this like a month ago. A few of these products I've had for a little while. But I think that looks really nice. Is this whole video gonna be interrupted by motorcycles? Potentially. Is this whole video going to be a success, apart from that first one, that first flawless filter thing, being slightly too dark? It's a little wash of something. I'm not doing my most creative out there work today, but that will absolutely do. Now let's put the lid back on there, and I'm just going to use my finger, I think, for the not cream, powder. I am malfunctioning in real time. This glow is not from the highlight, it is from me melting my own skin off. So that is the powder. We've remembered the word for it. It does have a little mirror on the inside as well, which quite frankly, I can't see anything in that. So let's just tap this a little bit further in. Oh, that's pretty. It's subtle, but that's a nice colour. I quite like that. I'm not doing a great job of getting that very inner corner. My nails are getting a little bit long. I think I'm going to go tomorrow and get them done. You didn't need to know, but nails are getting a little bit long, so need assistance just on that very inner corner. I like it. I like it. I do feel like that cream is setting somewhat. Like it's not creasing. And honestly, if it was going to crease, it was going to crease on me today because, have I mentioned, it's hot. So that is that. I have a mascara. Didn't get it out of my drawers there. Be right back. So actually both of these are products that I really like from Primark. If you are in there and you are looking for a brown liquid liner and mascara combo, I highly recommend these ones. So this is the PS Pro Satin Finish Eyeliner Felt Pen. love, 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 lasts incredibly well on me, and the PS Pro Extreme Lash Mascara, which is in brown. So I'm going to go ahead, do a wing and do mascara, and then we can come back for a lip. It's not new. I need to get it out of my drawer, which I should have done when I was over there getting these, but did I think that far ahead? Clearly not. Yeah, it's not new, but I've got some Primark bits. Okay, so I absolutely just did that thing where I went off, I did my eyeliner, I did my mascara, I think they look lovely, and then I started doom scrolling. So the sun has come across. I have no words. But I went and I got my Primark lip liner out of my, I had it in one of the little tubs up on my shelf here. I was like, oh, it's a bit blunt, it needs sharpening. Went to sharpen it. Let me show you this lip pencil. What is that? So, I'm going to use it. I don't recommend, because you'll get like 3 uses out of it and then go to sharpen it and then end up with like a chewed little bit of pencil. And I have a good pencil sharpener, okay? It's fairly new. Yeah, don't quite know what's gone on there. And I actually quite like this lip pencil as well. It is the PS Pro Lip Plumping Liner, so it is a little bit spicy hot, but I quite like that. So, and I really like the colour as well. Does this have a shade? Not that it matters, because I'm not recommending it. Because you can't sharpen it. Let me just get this over and done with. There we go. So that's the finished look. I feel like we have ended on such a low there with that lip pencil. I love how it looks. I love how it feels. It is tingly hot, but I quite enjoy that at the low level that this is. It doesn't get like crazy hot. So I really, really like that pencil, but not if you can't sharpen it. You need to be able to sharpen your lip pencils. So let's go over everything that we tried today. The PS Pro Luminous Filter. I absolutely think that this product is for someone. I think it's a good dupe. I would actually go as far as to say I probably prefer this to the e.l.f. one, but the shade is just a little bit off me. I feel like now that I've got everything on, it doesn't feel too far off my body, but just by itself the shade was a little bit off and it was a little bit too dark for me. I fully embrace my pale skin tone all year round, so it's not the perfect product for me, but for somebody, absolutely. The bronzer, really enjoyed the bronzer. The colour was lovely. I'm interested to try this over a base that I actually feel matches my skin tone. I really like the colour. That was very blendable. Blended out really easily. I really enjoyed that. The blush, I wish that was a little bit more pigmented. The Radiant blusher in Peach. Just wish it was a little bit more pigmented, but again, sometimes you have to like really work through the top layer of these sorts of products. Sometimes you just have to like break through the top and then the product underneath is better, so I will continue to use it. The liquid highlight, I think that's one of the standout products from this video. I think that that highlight looks lovely. Absolutely do not be put off by the fact that this says gold. I would say that this is like a pinky champagne. It's lovely. It definitely works for my skin tone, but it is also sheer, so I do feel like it will work sort of flexibly. The powder, really liked that. The scent wasn't overpowering. I thought it could potentially be. The scent is lovely. It mattified everything, but not in a heavy way. It looks really nice and smooth. Like I say, I just did a little bit of doom scrolling, so I've had this on my face for a little while now and it still looks nice. Like, it's not so mattifying that it looks flat. it does still have that level of glow, obviously from the glowy products that I've got on underneath and over the top, but everything feels really nice and set, but in more of a matte way, but not overly matte. It's the right amount for me. Then the little eyeshadow stack, I really like that. I'm not noticing any creasing as of yet. Like I say, it's been a little while. And I think that that's really nice. Absolutely something that I would take on holiday. Quick one and done, and you've got a little pop of a slightly shimmery highlight. I like. So that is my full face. I would love to hear if you've tried anything recently from Primark that you recommend. I will try and link everything down below to the products on the Primark website. However, you do have to go in store, which is the most annoying thing. I'm waiting for the day that Primark do like online properly, not in like a click and collect, because not everywhere, it's a whole thing. I will leave everything linked that I possibly can so that you can go and check them out. I would love to hear if you have tried anything from Primark recently that you think I would enjoy, but until next time, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.